The Anthonys had always been fractured, but now the cracks were deep fissures. Cindy, who had once stood by Casey, began to express doubts. George, broken and reeling, gave a candid interview with detectives in which he admitted he no longer believed Casey's version of events. "She knows what happened," he said softly. "She's just not telling." Cindy, on the other hand, oscillated between support and denial. She insisted Casey was a good mother, that Zanny the nanny might still be real, that Kaylee could be alive. She clung to hope, even as the evidence mounted. In October 2008, a grand jury indicted Casey Anthony on 7 charges, including first-degree murder, aggravated child abuse, aggravated manslaughter of a child, and 4 counts of providing false information to law enforcement. She pleaded not guilty. If convicted of the top charge, Casey could face the death penalty. With the case headed for trial, the defense team led by Jose Baez, an upstart attorney with no experience in high-profile murder cases, prepared for war. Baez was charismatic and confident. Critics called him inexperienced, but he saw something in Casey, something no one else did. He believed the state's case was built on circumstantial evidence, and he planned to blow it apart. He began laying the groundwork for a bold, controversial defense strategy. Meanwhile, prosecutors Jeff Ashton and Linda Drain Burdick dug deeper into the forensics. They would argue that Casey Anthony murdered her daughter with chloroform, sealed her mouth with duct tape, and discarded her body in a swamp. They believed the motive was freedom. Casey wanted to party, travel, live her life unburdened by motherhood. It was a narrative the public readily accepted. After all, the evidence was damning. A Google search for chloroform, the odor of decomposition, the duct tape, Casey's behavior after Kaylee's disappearance, her blatant lies. But Baez saw an opportunity in the chaos. He began planting doubt, pointing to sloppy police work, contradictory forensics, and media hysteria. He hinted that the Anthony family had secrets, dark ones, and he wasn't entirely wrong. In December 2008, as the nation mourned the confirmation that Kaylee was dead, her remains were officially identified. The cause of death was listed as homicide by undetermined means. The skull showed no trauma. Toxicology revealed no traces of drugs. All that remained was a toddler's skeleton, strands of hair, and 3 pieces of duct tape, one of which appeared to line up with where her nose and mouth would have been. To prosecutors, this was murder in its purest form. The state of Florida began preparing for the trial of the decade, and Casey Anthony, sitting in a jail cell awaiting her fate, remained a cipher, unshaken, unremorseful.